has been a year since George Floyd's murder at the hands of police, prompting a lot of emotions, productive discussions, growth, and change.
And those conversations are happening inside many homes and perhaps even the workplace. And on this one-year mark of the tragedy, we have employment attorney and mediator AngelaReddock-Wright joining us this morning. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning. Thank you.
Glad to have you on. And first off, are these conversations happening at work, and should they be?
Indeed, they are, and yes, they should be. And first, I'd just like to say my heart goes out to the Floyd family and all of those mourning his death today. Certainly today is a day where we all should stop and remember. But yes, these conversations are happening at work. They should happen at work. And in fact, if they're not happening at work, I would venture to guess that it's the elephant in the room at the workplace, because the entire world knows what happened last year, not just what happened with respect to Floyd, but also in terms of the pandemic, in terms of political turmoil in our country. So there are conversations that are happening around the water cooler in our families, among our friends. So if employers are not actively engaging in these conversations, then it's definitely a missed opportunity.
And let's talk about that. What is your advice then to those employers, those companies, on how they should be handling these discussions with employees?
So first, I encourage employers to actively have the conversation and to recognize that this has been an emotional and traumatizing year for many employees. And they should help facilitate the dialogue and not be afraid to have the dialogue by, for example, bringing in facilitators and leaders who specialize in these tough and emotional conversations, who specialize in issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Employers also can't stop there. Once they have the conversation, whether facilitated or not, they should have other activities in place to help continue the dialogue through other group sessions, through book clubs, through creating opportunities for employees to volunteer and to be connected to larger civic and social issues.
And we know, Angela, obviously this can become so emotional. It's been such an emotional year for so many people. And people may feel comfortable speaking about it with their certain coworkers that they're close with. But, you know, in front of a boss, it may be different. Any advice on that?
Exactly. Yes. Employees will definitely be afraid and feel vulnerable if they're having these conversations in front of their bosses. But I think if the companies take the lead and say that they truly want to have these conversations, that they're open to hearing what employees feel, not only about their personal experiences, but how employees feel about the company and the company's commitment to these issues. If bosses and managers and supervisors show that they truly have an open ear, an open door, as many companies say, then I think employees will feel open enough to actually open up, to have the conversation, and to be a part of helping their companies guide through solutions and opportunities to improve based on the experiences of the last year.
Yeah, these discussions can get very emotional with loved ones at home or even coworkers at work. So how do you keep those emotions in check and have those productive conversations?
Right. That's why it's important to bring in someone who's an expert in these issues to help facilitate the dialogue, to manage the emotions, to ensure that everyone is being respectful to one another, that everyone has the opportunity to speak. Certainly, companies can try to lead the conversations on their own, but they take a real risk that the situation may get out of hand, the conversation may get out of hand. So they really want someone who can help them first create the outline for such a conversation, and then come up with the ground rules for having such a conversation, and then managing that along the way.
A mediator to help keep it productive. Okay, Angela, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.